And once again, I want to say greetings to each and every one of you, Aquaba, and welcome. Welcome to another round of the Conscious Wrestler Report here on LIB Radio, LIB TV here on livinginblack.com. My name is Kidi Obi Awadu, aka the Conscious Wrestler. Weekday mornings, you and I get together live. We come at you from 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's 12 noon Eastern time. 5 p.m. GMT, and 8 p.m. East Africa time, we get together with you and we deal with culture, consciousness, historical perspectives. We deal with entertainment, economics, education, health, labor, law, politics, religion, family, conflict, future studies, all areas of human interactivity and development. Today's date is Thursday. It is the 4th day of December. The year 2025 in the Gregorian Western calendar, this corresponds to the year 6266, according to the Cometian calendar, to which we have realigned our cultural clock. Welcome to the 7th millennium. You have found your family in a peaceful place here on LIB Radio, LIB TV here on livinginblack.com. Let me tell you what we have in store for you today. This is Thursday. And we are in our extended series, which is dealing with AI, mastering AI for business managers. So let me introduce today's show, and hopefully you will find it compelling. To the best of our abilities, we do our best to make every show compelling for you. Welcome to our 11th classroom, where we dive into mastering AI for business managers. Discover the instant brand voice generator. That's a Claude.ai prompt. It is your key to crafting compelling, authentic content. What's the key to awesome written content rather than generic BS? Your brand voice. Use this prompt to generate a powerful brand voice statement tailored for marketing and for company documentation. So that's what we are into today. Challenge. Today is the 28-part AI challenge, week 11. Creating a distinctive brand voice using Claude AI. I put in a lot of work in today's program. I did much of it yesterday, hoping I would have little to do today, but then I had a hard time logging into my Claude.ai prompt. I was using Claude.ai when I coulda, woulda, should have been using Claude.com to get that voice in. But I finally got it in. We have a good program for today. Now, let me be honest with you. I did this AI prompt, I think it was yesterday, maybe day before, using my personal brand name, and that is Living Superfood. And it turned out wonderful, phenomenal. Just like last week, we did one for the Kujichagulia, not for the Kujichagulia villages, for the whole Pan-African brand. And it turned out so wonderfully that I ended up doing a PowerPoint out of it, and I shared that PowerPoint with you all last Friday. I think I shared it. So today what I did was I did this one a day or so ago for my Living Superfood brand, but then today I wanted to show you what we do using a different brand. So I created another prompt for today, dealing with Kujichagulia villages. Now, first, before I do that, let me play this short piece of video, which shows the classroom as I initiate these myself. That is my presentation, is the end result of 3 to 4 or even more different experiences with each of these 28 days of lessons. So let me show you. This is AI Challenge for Managers, Day 11. Now, in actuality, this is not the 11th part. We did two parts on AI video generation. I think maybe even a third part. So this is probably about day 13 or so of our LIB radio classes, class number 13 or so. But just to keep things in sequence. So let me share with you what this
It
man
turns out you
has to say.
can't make good content with AI unless you specify your brand voice. So today what I'm going to do is show you how to use Claude.ai to create your brand voice so that you write good content every time. Your brand voice is like a restaurant's signature sauce. Without it, it just tastes like everybody else's. Worse, AI could create content for anybody. So you have to think about why would somebody read my content rather than just generating something similar using AI by itself. The reason's pretty simple. People like a brand. They like your voice, they like your style. But if you have neither one of those things, there's no reason for them to come to you versus a competitor or just using AI to generate it yourself. So what we're going to use is Claude.ai to generate your brand voice statement. Then it sounds like you and will be effective in generating brand awareness for you every single time somebody reads it. All right, so we're going to do the instant brand voice generator. We're going to use Claude.ai. Again, I think Claude is the best at copy at this point, so that's why we're using it. And you can see it has a prompt here. Now, there are some inputs. So again, if you have to do inputs, I suggest copying it and doing like a Google Doc or something that you could reference in the future. That way, if you need to use this again, you already have the template set, and you can just copy and paste it from there, and then give it a appropriate name. But the actual prompt is pretty simple. Review the following information about my brand, then create a detailed brand voice summary based on the definition that follows the brand information. So let's go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, so target market, input, who exactly is your target audience and what are their key characteristics? So this, just if you do your best, if you don't have a target market, we will talk about that in a future episode. But for right now, I'm going to say middle-aged, educated men and women in the USA who are interested in being ahead on innovation in business. All right, there you go. Audience problem. What problem does your brand solve for this audience? We teach people how to use AI in a practical and useful sense right now. Core brand values. What are the three most important values brand stands for? Let's go ahead and say innovation. Let's say ethical. No, let's say management, good management, and practicality. And then finally, general brand traits. If your brand was a person, what would their personal traits be? We're going to say motivating, intelligent, and slightly funny. We're not going to go full funny. We're going to go slightly funny. That way it doesn't make jokes all the time. Now, just like most of our GPTs that we develop here at the Academy, we always do the definition. The reason why you do want to do the definition in everything, even these little prompts, is because if you don't, it'll give you a different answer. So this is our definition for brand voice at the Academy. You can see it's pretty comprehensive, just for a small word, but we think it's necessary to give you the best possible. So I'll go ahead and link to the full voice or the full definition if you want to check that out. I'm not going to read the whole thing here. I'm going to go ahead and copy the whole thing now, go into Claude, and I'm going to paste. And that's it. You've now input everything you need, and now you're going to get a statement out of it. Now you can craft this statement so that's useful for say your staff or whoever you want to add to that. And you can see here it pulls up the canvas so you could keep on prompting, but you see the view of it right here. I'll wait until it's there. And there you go. So it's a very comprehensive statement because it's going off that big definition. But don't be scared of it because you could still trim it down. So let's say this is our big statement. You can also say, give me a true, we'll say 5-sentence summary of the brand voice. And so the reason we do this is because you might not want to do this entire thing, but for big documents, I definitely would use the full definition. But just for practicality's sake, I always say do something like this as well. That way, when you're ready to write, which we're going to use tomorrow, you could try either one. But in this case, you have something a little bit easier to copy and paste in there versus all of this. And just know that there is a capability to copy this little clipboard down here, copy contents. I now have.
Okay, so we have created that particular brand voice. We created a compelling prompt, and the prompt was rather simple, rather easy to create. Once I was into the program today, I created a prompt for Kujichagulia Villages as the brand. And let me share with you what it was able to get back to me. And personally, I was very, very happy with what came back. So again, let's talk about the class for today, creating a distinct brand voice for a business. Discover how to create a distinct brand voice using Claude.ai that sets your content apart from generic AI generated material. And your generic AI generated material, you want to, as best as possible, stay far, far away from AI generated material. It's just so generic and it's easily spotted. So here is what you are going to do. Review, you're going to create you're going to, using Claude, you're going to create a prompt that says, quote, review the following information about my brand, then create a detailed brand voice summary based on the definition that follows the brand information. So the target market for Kujichagulia Villages, and again, Kujichagulia Villages, let me put that in right here, Kujichagulia Villages. Target market includes African Americans, African British, and other members of the diaspora-born African community. They are well educated and identify as Pan-Africans. The audience problem that this message is seeking to solve: life is becoming increasingly difficult living as minorities in societies dominated by political turmoil, racism, out of control inflation, and other oppressions, including poor health for our target audience. Now, I hope somebody out there is listening closely to me, because it's going to come up with something pretty awesome and you're going to be impressed. So what are the core brand values of our Kujichagulia Villages? My brand, Kujichagulia Villages, has 3 cores. 1, it is strongly based upon the acquired skills and resources that we have accomplished within these developed nations. 2, it has the African continent with its myriad of natural and human resources as a major asset of the group. And 3, the third core values, Africans from this diaspora would be able to live like royalty and have the highest access within the population to get things done as we would be able to afford our initiatives. And general brand traits include absolute honesty and good governance, technologically advanced, state support of our projects in concert with governments of Ghana, Uganda, and Kenya, and a never-ending curiosity about its primary basis of interest. Now, that was a short general brand statement. He, in his example, gave a fairly lengthy one. And then there's the Kujichagulia Villages brand voice summary. The brand voice for Kujichagulia Villages is tailored to resonate deeply with well-educated African Americans, African British individuals, and other members of the diaspora-born African community who identify as Pan-Africans. Now, this is all coming back after I've hit the enter button on the prompt. This brand addresses the mounting challenges. Now, I would change some of the wording. Rather than saying this brand, I would say these villages address. So let me just put that in parentheses here, or in brackets. These villages address, in brackets. So this brand addresses the villages, the mounting challenges faced by these communities, including political turmoil, racism, inflation, and health disparities. The brand's voice seeks to embody honesty, good governance, technological innovation, and proactive state support in collaboration with the governments of Ghana, Uganda, and Kenya, all underpinned by an insatiable curiosity. Given the audience's struggles with systemic issues, Kujichagulia Villages places a premium on absolute honesty and transparency. This honesty builds trust and credibility, acknowledging the real issues faced by its audience, while framing them as manageable challenges. Promises made by the brand are realistic and achievable, fostering a sense of reliability and integrity. Every communication is factual and avoids jargon, ensuring clarity and straightforwardness, essential for establishing a trustworthy relationship with the community. This brand incorporates a strong emphasis on good governance, reflecting a commitment to ethical and responsible practices. This includes transparent decision-making, accountability, and a dedication to serving the best interests of its community. By promoting good governance, Kujichagulia Villages aims to set a high standard for leadership and management, ensuring that its initiatives are conducted with integrity and fairness. This aspect of the brand voice seeks to inspire confidence and trust among its stakeholders, reinforcing the brand's commitment to ethical and sustainable development. Reflecting its technologically advanced nature, the brand voice emphasizes the use of technology to address the needs of its target demographic. It demonstrates an understanding of technological trends and innovations, highlighting how these tools can enhance across, and here, bear with me here, highlighting how these tools advance across the different spectrum of what we intend to be doing. Let me back it up because this phone interrupted me. The brand voice incorporates a strong emphasis on good governance. I got through that. Oh, reflecting its technologically advanced nature. The brand voice emphasizes the use of technology to address the needs of its target demographic. It demonstrates an understanding of technological trends and innovations, highlighting how these tools can enhance access to healthcare, education, and economic opportunities. The brand leverages technology to create tangible improvements in the lives of its audience, showcasing a forward-thinking and innovative approach. This technological focus also positions Kujichagulia Villages as a leader in its field, committed to using cutting-edge solutions for community empowerment. Kujichagulia Villages communicates its state support through partnerships with the governments of Ghana, Uganda, and Kenya, showcasing a collaborative approach to development. This element of the brand voice emphasizes the importance of working with local governments to ensure that initiatives are aligned with national priorities and policies. By highlighting these partnerships, the brand demonstrates its commitment to sustainable and responsible development, reinforcing its credibility and trustworthiness within the community. This collaboration also ensures that projects are well supported and have the potential for long-term success. The brand voice embodies a never-ending curiosity, continuously seeking new ways to empower and uplift its target audience. This curiosity drives the brand to explore innovative solutions and approaches to address the multifaceted challenges facing the Pan-African community. The voice reflects a commitment to lifelong learning and discovery, signaling that Kujichagulia Villages is always evolving and adapting to meet the changing needs of its audience. It embraces experimentation and new ideas, positioning the brand as a dynamic and forward-thinking entity that is constantly striving to improve its offerings. The tone also incorporates elements of pride and optimism, celebrating the skills and resources within the diaspora and recognizing the African continent as a significant asset. This creates a sense of empowerment and possibility, reinforcing the idea that the target audience can overcome obstacles and achieve prosperity. Moreover, the voice projects an aspirational vision, suggesting that members of the diaspora can attain a high quality of life, influence, and access. This instills hope and motivates the audience to engage with the brand's initiatives. In summary, Kujichagulia Village's brand voice is honest, emphasizes good governance, technologically advanced, it showcases state support, and is perpetually curious. It resonates with the aspirations and challenges of the Pan-African community, creating a strong and meaningful connection with its target audience. It seeks to empower, uplift, and inspire, fostering a sense of unity, possibility, and cultural pride. So that was the brand voice being described. Now, what it was being described to, or who it was being described to, I didn't specify that in the prompt. The prompt, let me go back to the website it was on. Let me try and figure out which window it's on. Claude. And it's not here. Close this. Oh, here's the Kujichagulia Village. Now, it gave me, there were several other questions that it could have asked me. For one, I didn't ask it who it was talking to. And, oh, it's got some other things in here. So by not describing who it was talking to, it was really kind of generalized. How there were some other related questions that would have followed up, and you just clicking on these questions would have created a longer prompt, such as question number 1. How can Kujichagulia Villages ensure its brand voice remains authentic and consistent across all communication channels? Question number 2. What specific technologies will Kujichagulia Villages leverage to enhance access to healthcare, education, and economic opportunities for its target audience? That's a very important question. Question number 3. How does Kujichagulia Villages plan to measure the effectiveness of its good governance practices? Question number 4. Can you provide examples of how Kujichagulia Villages will collaborate with the governments of Ghana, Uganda, and Kenya to support its projects? And lastly, what are some innovative solutions Kujichagulia Villages is exploring to address the challenges faced by the Pan-African community? I'm going to open that question up, and let me just get It's coming in. It's going to take a second. And I hope that you find this to be compelling. And as the answers are coming in, it comes up with different solutions, and it comes up with external links, such as the Kwanzaa Festival Day. We can incorporate Kwanzaa as a technique in the villages. It talks about a Pan-African village providing housing, the Millennium Villages Project. It ties into that as well. So here is the direct answer without the external links that it gave me. Now, I like these external links. I'm going to click on one of them, and we're going to open that in a new tab. We'll come to that in just a second. Anyway, I'm going to click on two of them, housing and Millennium Villages. So those are coming up. But here it talks about innovative solutions by Kujichagulia Villages for the Pan-African community. Kujichagulia Villages is actively exploring and implementing a range of innovative solutions to address the multifaceted challenges faced by the Pan-African community. These initiatives are deeply rooted in the principle of Kujichagulia, which translates to self-determination, emphasizing the critical importance for individuals and communities to define, name, create for themselves, and speak for themselves. This foundational principle guides their efforts to empower the community to take control of its destiny, craft its own narratives, and assert its identity with confidence and pride. Next, it goes into core development projects and vision. At the heart of Kujichagulia Village's approach are its development projects, which involve strategic partnerships with Black landowners. These collaborations are focused on developing both rural and urban properties with the overarching goal of fostering self-sufficiency, robust resource development, practical vocational training, and comprehensive systems development. This ambitious vision is championed by figures such as Kidi Obi Awadu, alongside the Pan-African Development Organization, PADO, and various members of the Living in Black Network. The ultimate aim is to establish intentional communities that serve as vibrant centers for progress and development. Now, note, I did not put my name into the project, but I did define the project, and it's exploring all across the internet, found the projects that I have been involved in. This is really, really good. What is the mission of the Kuji Village's wellness resorts? A key component of this vision is the mission of the Kuji Village's wellness resorts. These resorts are designed to secure physical spaces with both rural and urban locales for the creation of these intentional communities. Within these communities, there is a concerted effort to bring together a diverse and talented group of highly accomplished and resourceful individuals. Their collective expertise is then channeled into implementing a comprehensive plan aimed at restoring the broader community to a state of optimal mental and physical health. The strategies employed are extensive, encompassing a wide range of critical areas including advanced healthcare provisions, sustainable economic models, industrial development, educational programs, creative arts initiatives, and culturally relevant policies and programs. Next, it deals with the focus on reparations and economic development. Kujichagulia Villages is also committed to creating practical applications of reparations-centered prescriptions. This involves tangible efforts to address historical injustices through current development. A significant initiative in this regard is the intention to raise a dedicated fund. This fund is specifically earmarked to accelerate the work being done at their 3 primary Kujichagulia Village partnerships, which are strategically located now, and this is going back to 2008, strategically located in Louisiana, Virginia, and Illinois. This focus underscores their belief in economic justice as a cornerstone of community upliftment and self-determination. The guiding principles include the Nguzo Saba and Kwanzaa. The philosophical underpinnings of these communities are deeply rooted in the ideas of the Nguzo Saba, which are the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. These principles provide a moral and ethical framework for community building and development. Self-determination, or Kujichagulia, is particularly central, empowering individuals and groups to define their own identity, culture, and values rather than being defined by external forces. This principle encourages a proactive stance in life, inspiring people and communities to take charge of their narrative and destiny, thereby fostering a profound sense of empowerment and agency. Let's talk about empowerment through education and technology. Education and technology are recognized as fundamental tools for empowerment within the Kujichagulia Villages framework. They actively promote knowledge creation, self-advocacy, and cultural enrichment. Digital literacy, in particular, is highlighted as a crucial factor for unlocking new opportunities for people of all ages. By enhancing digital skills, communities are better equipped to make informed decisions and take effective actions to improve their lives. This includes fostering environments that reflect community values and aspirations, allowing them to innovate and build from within. Next, it goes into the category of collaborative initiatives. This is really almost serving like an outline for a book. Collaborative initiatives and Pan-African unity. The broader Pan-African movement, which advocates for the unity and advancement of all indigenous African groups, significantly influences Kujichagulia villages. This commitment to collective progress is evident in various collaborative initiatives. For instance, partnerships like the Moringa Initiative, developed with the Ghana Permaculture Institute, aims to improve rural communities through capacity building and sustainable economic activities, focusing on areas like agriculture. Another example is Solar Mtani in Kenya, a non-profit organization dedicated to delivering STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics training, particularly for young people and women. These efforts align with the broader goal of fostering Pan-African unity and education, encouraging communities to embrace a unified vision for Africa's future and support one another in creating a brighter future through self-sufficient agriculture and community hubs for learning. Despite the challenges posed by various environmental factors, such as ash covering regions like Afar, local families exhibit remarkable resilience. Community members often share resources, including masks, and actively assist in clearing ash from roads, showcasing a profound sense of solidarity during crisis. These communities strive to maintain daily routines even when faced with significant environmental difficulties, such as dusty water sources that complicate daily chores. Elders often recount stories of past eruptions, passing down historical knowledge even if no living person has witnessed such events directly. The strong sense of community and mutual support are often considered as vital as any official response plan in navigating these challenges. And it's getting a little broader, but it's getting near the end. In a broader context, countries like Poland are demonstrating significant progress in Europe, driven by consistent economic growth, enhanced regional leadership, and a distinct national purpose. which is actively reshaping the continent's political and security landscape. The nation's calm and practical leadership approach resonates effectively with its neighboring countries, while sustained investments over years have cultivated a robust economy. Poland's strategic geographical location further amplifies its influence, and a growing national confidence encourages strong support for ambitious national projects. Modern infrastructure developments and expansions in military capabilities are further solidifying its pivotal role in various regional alliances. Now, it went off on a tangent here, and it went to Poland, and I see in the summary, it's summarized and it's still talking about Poland. So we went into and through all of our responses, and then it went outside of what our prompts were, and it went into Poland. So that's not a problem for me. I can just delete that paragraph from what came back, and what I am going to do is include that last set of prompts talking about the innovative solutions for the Pan-African community. I'm going to copy, cut, and paste that over here. And that is now in the document that I created. Now, what I'm going to do, just format just a little bit here. Save that. And let me tell you, that was very, very powerful. And then again, there were other prompts that were there that did come up. What specific vocational training programs are offered? How can individual organizations partner with Kujichagulia Village development projects? What are the long-term economic impacts anticipated from the reparations-centered fund? And I like that one. We got a few more minutes here. If you don't mind, I hope you don't mind, I'm going to click on that one. It says, 2 more questions. Can you provide more details on the healthcare and wellness strategies implemented in Kuji Village's resorts? And lastly, how does Kujichagulia Villages measure success and impact of its initiatives on the Pan-African community? So I'm going to go into the question, what are the long-term economic impacts anticipated from the Kujichagulia Villages? And it's going to go back. It's looking through everything I've been publishing on this since 2008 and other places where people might have published very similar stuff. So let's share that. Again, I want to emphasize Claude.ai is amazing for writing these narratives. It's amazing. We discovered during this examination of this 28-week-long challenge, we discovered what I believe to be the best of a bunch of AI search engines, and that is Perplexity.ai. We discovered the best of AI image generation creation. I'm using that on a daily basis nearly. And we discovered what I believe to be the best of image to video generation, along with a voice synthesizer that can synthesize all of this. Now, this is amazing, because what I am studying, essentially, I could almost replicate myself and put myself out of business. This podcast. And now we see the proliferation of podcasts that have saturated the internet of recent. So I'm going to go into this anticipated long-term economic impacts of reparations-centered funds. The long-term economic impacts of reparations-centered funds, such as the one proposed by Kujichagulia Villages, are multifaceted and could lead to significant transformations within the Pan-African community and beyond. While the exact outcomes depend on the scale, structure, and implementation of these funds, several potential benefits and considerations can be outlined. Now, let's be clear. Just a week ago, it was revealed to me that Africans in America, African Americans, and our African, no, just the African American consumer spending for a year was $1.93 trillion, while African American production, gross domestic product, which is different from our consumption, remained at between 207 billion and 212 billion dollars. Therefore, we are spending almost 10 times as what we are creating as businesses. And that's at the end of, by the end of 2025. 10 times more we spend than what we create, what we produce. So therefore, our spending is essentially making everyone else rich. Making everyone else rich. But we are mired in poverty, and our leadership has put us and is keeping us in this position. I want you to stew on that for a second. Somebody talk to me. Let me take a second here and see if anybody is responding. I'm not getting any responses. This is cold-blooded. As my investigation into this AI goes deeper and deeper and I find these powerful tools, my audience is abandoning the idea. I'm not going to stop the series because I'm learning so much so fast that I eventually may learn myself out of my current position and LIB radio goes down. We don't want it to go down, but if it's not serving anyone other than me, there's no need for it. None at all. So let me double check over here, see if anybody is talking to me on Facebook. Did anybody at least like the program for today? I'm looking at the video, no one. And my prompt I put out there for today, I'm not seeing anybody really responding at all. Look at for us on you now, nobody is there. So this theme, this topic does not produce an audience. Nguvu says, Sawabona, I'm here listening and learning. Let me ask you, Nguvu, what do you think about the practicality of the Kuji Chagulia Villages project? Do you think that this is doable? And do you think, let me still think the right way, do you think that this is doable? And thank you for being in the audience, Nguvu. I'm here listening and learning. And if you can, hit the like button. Yeah, he did. He hit the like button. This is going to be interesting, to say the least. Do you think this is doable? I absolutely do believe it's doable. Again, it did mention that we had been working on 3 projects, and we did camping retreats. We built campgrounds, things. We went out to those land-based projects. We planted orchards, gardens. We really did do the work. We would have weekend-long or 4-day camping retreats. But this was when we had a base of 8,400 people accessible to us. And so therefore getting 15, 16, 21 people to show up at a location, a black-owned lake location, and go out there and build was not so difficult. We showed up at Black Oaks Center for Community Development out in Pembroke Township, south of Chicago. At Khalifa's Kujichagulia Villages, the land of Nat Turner's birth, where he had the Nat Turner Heritage Tour. And we showed up at the farm in Colfax, California, the Kimball Farm, and they had 74 acres, and I can recall we planted an orchard there. We did a lot of cleaning up on the property and everything. We did repairs. We put in a septic tank for them. We really did do things. Now, based upon that knowledge, I'm attempting to scale this up to where we can conquer nations. And instead of 74 acres in Pembroke Township or 40 acres in, there was 40 acres in Pembroke Township, 70 acres in Colfax, 123 acres in Virginia, and then there was another 40 acres at the Oyotunji African Village where we designed and built a solar power array. Now we have access to 500 acres in multiple lands across Africa, hundreds of acres, and we can scale it up. But rather than scale up, it's going the opposite direction. So Nguvu says, I like the concept. I think it will work, but more people need to see and understand the concept. Most people are afraid of change, but ... Oh, he said most people, but like Moses, true or not, we must be dedicated to leave and be on our own, but within the greater community. Nguvu, that was brilliantly stated. That was brilliantly stated. Let's go into this last, talking about Kujichagulia villages and reparations. The anticipated long-term economic impacts of reparations-centered funds. Now, let me see if I already cut and paste this to my site over here. No. So what I'm going to do is copy this whole section, and this is about 5 minutes worth of reading. Copy. I'm going to paste this again into my document. And this document is getting longer. And let's read what we just pasted in. And this is the anticipated, bear with me, anticipated long-term economic impacts of reparations-centered funds. The long-term economic impacts of reparations-centered funds, such as the one proposed by Kujichagulia villages, are multifaceted and could lead to significant transformations within the Pan-African community and beyond. While the exact outcomes depend on the scale, structure, and implementation of these funds, several potential benefits and considerations can be outlined. 1. Potential for economic empowerment and wealth creation. One of the primary goals of reparations is to address historical economic injustices and create pathways for wealth accumulation within marginalized communities. By providing capital for business development, and bear with me, I'm going to save this one time here as a markdown fund. By providing funds for business development, home ownership, and education, these funds can stimulate economic activity and foster self-sufficiency. Investments in Black-owned businesses can lead to job creation and increase economic output, thereby strengthening the overall economic base of the community. Furthermore, increased home ownership can provide families with a stable asset, contributing to long-term wealth creation and financial security. And I will say, ashe to all of that. Addressing systemic inequalities. Reparations-centered funds can play a crucial role in dismantling systemic inequalities that have historically disadvantaged the Pan-African community. By targeting resources toward areas such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure, these funds can help to level the playing field and provide individuals with equal opportunities to succeed. Improved educational outcomes can lead to higher earning potential and greater participation in the workforce. Enhanced healthcare access can reduce health disparities and improve overall quality of life. Investments in infrastructure, such as transportation and communications networks, can facilitate economic growth and connect communities to broader markets. Community development and social cohesion. Beyond economic gains, reparations-centered funds can foster community development and social cohesion. By supporting initiatives that promote cultural preservation, community organizing, and civic engagement, these funds can strengthen social bonds and empower individuals to take collective action. Investments in community centers, parks, and recreational facilities can create spaces for social interaction and community building. Furthermore, reparations can serve as a form of restorative justice, acknowledging past wrongs and promoting healing and reconciliation. And as part of our ongoing research and development, this reparations fund, rather than investing in community centers, parks, and recreational facilities, which are all very important, I am attempting to build a movie production system. And one of the first films that we have scheduled would be the history and the relevance of Gullah Geechee culture as the last surviving heart of direct African connection and culture in play that sits on phenomenal real estate. We have a window that's closing because others, real estate developers, are coming hard at the real estate. There is no price that they are not willing to pay to get access to Gullah Geechee lands, which are on the Carolinas sea coast, the Georgia sea coast, mostly the Carolinas, and extend into sea islands off the coast of the Carolinas. If they get their hands on the Gullah Geechee lands, it is inevitable that the people will be displaced and removed from those lands. By making the lands into a cultural preservation site with film making capabilities, we have created a plan to hold on to the Kujichagulia village lands. We can do that, but we need a Pan-African centered, reparations centered fund. Number 3, potential challenges and considerations. Despite the potential benefits, there are also challenges and considerations associated with reparations-centered funds. One key challenge is to determine the appropriate form and distribution of reparations. There are debates about whether reparations should be provided in the form of direct payments, scholarships, business grants, or community development projects. Additionally, there are questions about who should be eligible for reparations and how eligibility should be determined. It is important to ensure that the distribution process is fair, transparent, and accountable to avoid exacerbating existing inequalities. Then there is the economic multiplier effect. The economic multiplier effect suggests that the initial investment of reparations funds can have a ripple effect throughout the economy. As funds are used to support businesses, create jobs, and stimulate economic activity, the resulting increase in income and spending can generate further economic growth. This multiplier effect can amplify the impact of reparations and create a positive feedback loop that benefits both the Pan-African community and the broader economy. Then we talk about the impact, bear with me, the impact on public services and the national debt. ChatGPT's analysis suggests that increased revenue from fair taxation could transform government services, healthcare improvements, and could include expanding Medicare and Medicaid. Now, this is getting into the part where I'm going to skip over it because that is not directly relevant to what we are talking about. We are talking about being self-sufficient. So I'm going to skip that section and make sure, okay, it's going back into another section I think you'll find relevant to us. To maximize the positive impacts of reparations-centered funds, it's essential to ensure accountability and transparency in their management and distribution. Independent oversight mechanisms can help to prevent corruption, mismanagement, and the misuse of funds. Regular audits and evaluations can assess the effectiveness of reparations programs and identify areas for improvement. Community involvement in decision-making processes can ensure that reparations are aligned with the needs and priorities of the people they are intended to benefit. In conclusion, the long-term economic impact of reparations-centered funds have the potential to be transformative, addressing historical injustices, promoting economic empowerment, and fostering community development. However, careful planning, implementation, and oversight are essential to ensure that these funds are used effectively and equitably. By learning from past experiences and engaging in ongoing dialogue, it is possible to create reparations programs that truly make a difference in the lives of those who have been harmed by systemic discrimination. And in closing, I would say all of this is committed to the idea of launching our Kuji Chagulia Villages brand. And so, in summary, let me just get it to summarize what I just said. Please summarize that all of this is committed to the idea of launching our Kujichagulia Villages brand. So copy and copy, paste this over here, and it's going to give me a summary that should include basically everything we talked about today. And while I'm waiting on that, I want to thank you, Nguvu, for being here with your brother. Thank you so much. And launching the Kujichagulia Villages brand signifies a commitment to a specific vision or set of values. Without additional content, it's challenging to provide a detailed summary, so it pretty much is kind of skipping over everything that's gone. The foundational work involves the brand's identity, including its name, logo, and overall aesthetic, and is now going into the area of market research. So I got a lot, and I was able to pull up a couple of other sites, such as the Pan-African Village Project. Let me just put this up, copy. I'm going to put this up as a link for those of you who want to know more about what this link says. Copy. I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to paste it on YouTube. where nobody responded for us today. That's too bad, but we did the best we could. Pan-African Village Project, I'm going to paste it up for our Rumble family. And I do thank you, Brother Nguvu, for being a part of it. And it did mean a lot to your brother. And I'm going to paste this up also on my Facebook page. And let me hit the love button on Facebook. Maybe somebody else will see if I loved it and I posted it. Maybe they should take it out too. And I'm going to reboot this page and paste it one more time under the live video. And I hope all of this has been useful. I got excited today. I got really excited. You can probably tell in talking about the Coogee Villages projects. I got really excited. But at the same time, I'm thinking that we'll all get excited about learning AI and using AI as an empowerment tool, not just for individuals, but empowering the group. It's so important that we empower our group. Now, I am looking, and for some odd reason, I am not seeing the video for today. Didn't come through. Maybe that's why it didn't come through. It didn't come through on the Facebook page. I don't know why, but I can always just find that and put it up there for YouTube. And I don't know why it's not on Facebook, but that's okay. I'll put it up there a little bit later. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. We are doing our December fund drive. Let me just take a moment here for the fund drive, especially for those of you who might tune in later, catch the replay. What we are doing here is radical. It's Pan-African. We talked about today the critical importance of reparations-centered funding. Well, essentially, Kuchi-Chagalia villages will result from reparations-centered funding. Yet, however, you and I have to ask the question, can we fund reparations that would include lifting up all of our families? I think it's 27 million households in the United States, lifting them all up into intergenerational wealth transfer and repairing us so that we are at least compatible with the other people of this country for the next decade. And then beyond that, we don't want to be compatible with them. We aim to surpass them by incorporating Africa's immense natural resources into our hard assets. That's the goal. But can we do all of that and not even support a voice to stand up, to research this, and to advocate it? I don't think we will succeed if I cannot continue to do this much longer. Not to say that African people won't ultimately get what they need, what we need. But I want to be here. I want to be here with you. I want to be beside you at the finish line, the first finish line. But we've got to have more funding. Someone out there may know someone with deep pockets. You may know someone who's not only has deep pockets, but deep commitment. That's really what is being called for, deep commitment and deep projects. So we're going to do the best we can to do even better. And I am putting up 2 links. I put up one link for the Pan-African Asebu traditional area, which is in Ghana. which is continuing to celebrate its year of return. So I put up a link to that. And then the other one is for the Millennium Villages Project. Copy and paste this here. Copy all of that and paste this now up in the various places where it is for our Facebook family. There it is. For the Rumble family, the second one I'm pasting up right now. That's the Millennium Villages Project, and I'm going to paste this up one more time for the YouTube family as well. Can you go to libradio.com? At the bottom of the front page on LIB Radio is a link. Go to http libradio.com and look for the donations link at the bottom of the front page. That's easy to find. There is a subscription donation where you can enter a small amount which will be debited to you once a month. And at that point, you will be a regular contributor every month. Now, I'll be honest with you, in the background, I'm having to shut things down. I'm preparing now. This will be the last. Yesterday, I shut down my Grammarly program, which I don't need it anymore. AI, that was an early AI program that I was using, so I shut it down. Yesterday, I am now learning a new program, which is a free image generator. I've been using Adobe's Photoshop and the whole Adobe suite. There's Photoshop, Acrobat, Dreamweaver, and other programs in there. I have to shut it down because it's too expensive now. And it's a monthly charge and I cannot afford it. There's no money for it. But with your support, with the donations, we can afford to be competitive. So if you choose to cash out your donation to LIB Radio at $KEIDIOBI, that's the Cash App. So we're doing the best we can for a people who are tremendously grateful. And I do appreciate that. I hope you do as well. On your favorite, we aim to be your favorite. We are LIB Radio, LIB TV. We are living in black.com. Tell your friends to tell their friends that we have our own now. And we're very proud of who we are, what we do, and what our fate is as this global family, LIB Radio, LIB TV, and living in black.com. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to bump out of here. And doing the best we can to do the best we can. We are LIB Radio, LIB TV. We are living in black.com. Peace and prosperity to each and every one of you.